Hey, house guests. Whoops. Hey, house guests. Welcome to today's Big Brother 27 updates and spoilers. I hope you can hear me. I just messed with my volume, so I hope that didn't mess things up. I really don't want to do today's spoiler. It feels like today is like the last one of the season, but it's not. This show really took a hit over the weekend. Let me say that. Oh my goodness. The game that I left you all with during the last spoiler is not the game that we are coming back to. So that's fun. Can you guys hear me? Let's get started here. Can you guys hear me? I just want to make sure before I move forward. Yeah, it's been rough. You can hear me. Yay, yes, on a Sunday because I feel bad that I wasn't here yesterday and I wanted to make sure we don't fall too far behind. And also I missed you guys, of course. But oh my goodness, our house guest of the day. This is the fun part, right? We have Cynthia McNeil, we have Jessica B and her daughter Claire, and we have Beth Ward, who has been watching our channel forever. So thank you all so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate you all so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guest of the day, just send us an email to madrosed@gmail.com, and we will get you on the list. Just make sure you put house guest of the day in the subject line. All right. So I know, I'm here today. I'm happy to see you guys, even though I have very sad news to deliver. So when we left off, we were waiting for the feeds to come back from the White Locust twist. Yes, I did watch the Unlocked episode just this afternoon, and I saw that Tyler Crispin was a part of the White Locust twist, and he tased Derek, Taylor, and Lance. Okay. But the feeds were down for more than 24 hours for this twist. They came back at 9 p.m. Big Brother time on Friday night. I'm sure you've already seen the news. Unfortunately, Rachel was eliminated via the White Locust twist. And yes, eliminated, not evicted. She did not get to play in a veto competition. She did not play in a blockbuster. She didn't get to campaign for votes. Basically, she didn't get to play Big Brother. She got screwed over by a twist, which is so incredibly devastating, especially considering she has made it all the way through the pre-jury part of this game without ever even going up on the block. 0 votes against her. Playing the best game in the house by far and gets screwed over by a twist. Absolutely sucky. And again, not just like a twist, but like a twist where you have to just like win a competition to stay, which is really frustrating. So let's break it down. From what I can gather, Ava either like solved some sort of a puzzle or like won some sort of a challenge, something that gave her the power to start the chain for this elimination competition. It is similar to what we saw on the reindeer games. And like, it's one thing to have that on the reindeer games when that was all based on competitions and everybody knew that going into it, that it was going to be based on competitions. But like for regular Big Brother, not great. Not really a great game mechanic. But basically, the way this worked, Ava picks somebody to do the elimination competition. And then that person, if they make it through in time, picks the next person to go. And as they pick people, the time that they have to complete the elimination competition gets shorter and shorter. So the further down the chain you are, the more likely you are to lose the competition, the more dangerous it is for you to compete. So Ava got to start the chain. And of all people, she chose Vince to go first in the chain. Vince, who she has been shit talking for weeks, especially the last few days leading up to this whole thing. She's calling him Vinny the Lip Punani because of how he can talk his way out of anything. I mean, this is the same Vince that she was pissed at for lying about who he would target moving forward. Remember all the rants to Lauren? I'm sorry, but we can't trust Vince. We can't trust Vinny the Lip. She decided with all of that to give Vince the best chance to compete in this competition by giving him the top slot, number one, longest amount of time to finish this. And it was apparently some sort of a maze that they had to get through. I don't know exactly what that entailed, but again, with each person that went, the allotted time to complete it was shortened. But like Vince, she didn't want to pick any of her allies, maybe Will, Rachel, Ashley, even Lauren, none of them. She decided to go with Vince. It's just absolutely mind-boggling. I am obviously more upset with the like game designers of all this, like the production team who decided to do this twist. But like also Ava, what the hell were you thinking? I just like I don't get it. I don't get it. I think what it comes down to is she is just not like a strategic person. I believe it was either last night or the night before. She was talking about how her goal here really was just to win America's Favorite. So I don't think she had like a lot of gameplay in mind when she came into the house. I don't get the thought of like not picking one of your allies, even if it wasn't Rachel. I'm not saying it had to be Rachel, but how do you not pick Will or Ashley or again, even Lauren, who she seems to be very close to? It's just absolutely insane. Like, do you not realize that you're putting all of them in danger? So this is not 100% confirmed, but it seems like the chain was Ava, who didn't actually compete in the maze thing. She didn't have to because she won the other thing. So she got to pick who went, but she did not do the maze herself. So she picked Vince, and then Vince picked Lauren. Whoa, you know Morgan was pissed about that. She was not feeling good about Vince picking Lauren over her. That's a whole thing. But Lauren completed it. She then picked Morgan, and then Morgan completed it and picked Rachel. And Morgan is saying that she picked Rachel because she thought that she would finish it. I mean, she didn't want Rachel to go. It does not seem at all like Morgan wanted Rachel to go. She was picking her because she thought she would still do it. So Rachel could not complete the maze in time, and she was eliminated. It's so effed. I'm sure you guys have seen there's been a huge outpouring on social media. A lot of Big Brother alumni coming forward and saying that they think this is messed up. I know Brendan posted some really heartfelt messages. I just have to give a huge thanks to Rachel for leaving her family for the summer and providing so much entertainment to all of us. I mean, she was definitely the highlight of the season for me. I feel like this season would have been so different in a bad way if she was not on it. The house just feels dead now without her. These people can't like carry the show. It's just sad. But yeah, Rachel for America's Favorite Player. Thank you for being so entertaining, Queen. You really she really did not deserve this treatment, and it's upsetting. I mean, we're a few days out now. Things have like calmed down a little bit, but I'm just still so upset. I had to get up early on Saturday for my like vendor event, and I told myself I wasn't going to stay up for when the feeds came back on Friday night, but I like couldn't help myself, and I did. And when I saw the horrors that were unfolding before me, I had wished that I went to bed before I saw that. But it was, yeah, I did not sleep well that night. But anyway, it gets worse to make matters worse, as if this twist wasn't bad enough. They used the elimination competition also as the HOH competition. So whoever completed the maze in the fastest time won HOH. The problem here is that less than half of the house guests even got to compete. So the only people who did the maze besides Rachel were Vince, Lauren, and Morgan. So only 3 people competed in this week's HOH competition. And apparently Vince and Morgan were both sandbagging because they didn't want to win HOH. They didn't want to have to show their cards and nominate people. So they essentially threw the competition, but made sure that they did it fast enough that they completed the maze in time. So that means that Lauren had the fastest time, and Lauren is the new HOH. So nominations were already done when the feeds came back. Lauren nominated Morgan, Will, and Ashley. And again, I just have to emphasize that Will and Ashley did not even get to compete for the HOH this week, and they are up on the block. That is so insane to me. So unfair. But I know they're going to be like, expect the unexpected. This is Big Brother. But like, when you completely change the mechanics of the game, that's not cool. That is not Big Brother. But anyway, when the feeds came back, Morgan was crying in the attic bedroom and Vince was comforting her. And Morgan is saying, if I don't win the veto or the blockbuster, I'm going home this week. And Vince is telling her that's not going to happen. Like, it's not going to be like that. You're going to win one of those comps. Like, you're not going anywhere. And Morgan brings up, this is exactly why she has always been on the fence about Lauren and whether or not they can work with her, whether they should trust her. She's like, Lauren has now voted me out. She's put me up on the block. And yet you threw the HOH? I guess she thought that Vince would protect her if Lauren were to win. But I mean, why would you assume that when Vince picked Lauren in the chain over you? So Morgan's like really not happy with Vince right in that moment. But Vince seems to suggest to her that Keanu is the backdoor target this week, not her. But Morgan, she's not so sure about that. She's like, I don't know. Like, I think I might be her target. And she says even if Keanu is the target, she could still end up being the one to leave this week because say she's up on the block with Keanu wins the blockbuster, and then Morgan gets voted out. She's really worried about that. But Vince is reassuring her, you are not going anywhere. Okay. So then a little later, Will, Ashley, and Ava are chatting in the backyard. And they're talking about like what great, crazy TV Rachel's elimination is going to be. I don't think it's going to have the effect that you think it is. But apparently, Ava was celebrating when Rachel was eliminated. She was yelling like, let's effing go, yeah. I don't understand where this is coming from with Ava. Did you not have a final two with her? Have you not been yucking it up with her this whole time? Like, I don't get it. Like, has she had her frustrations with Rachel? Yes. But it seemed like she was always genuinely close to Rachel, even on a personal level. So I just don't get Ava. But meanwhile, Keanu is really sad. He was like looking at the memory wall and he says, I can't believe you're gone. It's supposed to be me and you in the final two seats, man. I don't want to beat them. I wanted to beat you. Oh, I'm like actually bummed that we're not going to get to see like how the whole frenemies storyline was going to play out. It would have been awesome to see Rachel and Keanu in the final two. But now we'll never get that. We'll never get to find out if either of them would have turned on each other or if they would have gone to the end together. Keanu did seem genuinely upset though. But anyway, he lost his sparring partner. But later, Lauren and Ava are chatting in the HOH room. And Lauren says, if I get House's choice for the veto competition, I'm going to pick you to play, Ava. But she's also like, I'm nervous. Like, it's going to look weird to Keanu that if I pick you to play. And Lauren says she's getting scareder and scareder of Keanu. And she's scared that Keanu is going to win his way to the end. He's going to win this whole thing. And Ava's like, I know, right? It feels like at this point we signed up to play the challenge because it seems like now to get to the end, you got to win all these competitions. It's not a social-based game anymore, which I do agree with. I think she ate on that. But Ava tells Lauren, don't worry about what Keanu's going to think. Who gives an F? Whatever. So Lauren's like, okay, I'll just play dumb and I'll say that you wanted to play. And that's why I'm picking you. Cool. Okay, so Ava then tells Lauren, I heard something about Vinny that really scared me. And now I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I need to tell you because, like, what kind of friend am I if I don't tell you this? So, again, like, she knows Vince sucks, and yet she picked Vince. She picked him first in the chain. What are you doing? So, Ava um is telling Lauren, I heard that Vince was in the room when you were being pushed as the replacement nominee last week. And, like, I don't know if he was for it or what he was saying, but he was definitely aware of it. Okay, so, like, here's the tea. Vince would have 100% been fine with Lauren actually going up as the replacement nominee. He would have been down with that as long as it wasn't him going, right? However, I'm sure what is being referred to here and what Lauren is thinking is that this was all the plot that failed, where Keanu and Vince were trying to convince Morgan to use the veto on Vince instead of on herself. And Keanu was promising that he was going to put Lauren up, but he was going to pull the switcheroo and put Ashley up instead. And because Lauren was in on this plan, she knew about it. She's not worried getting this information from Ava. But Ava is freaking out. She's crying and she's just like, my brain doesn't work the same way as other people's in this house, and it doesn't operate on that level. Like, strategy and scheming, all that stuff. And Lauren's like, it's okay, it's a lot, I know. And Ava says, these people are liars. Girl, you're at Big Brother. So Lauren agrees and she says, that's why I want Keanu or Morgan out this week. And she's like, I hope that I made the right choice. And Ava tells her, there is no wrong choice. Everything that happens is meant to happen. That's a very convenient way to avoid taking responsibility for your decisions and your actions. And I don't just mean in Big Brother, I mean, like, in life too. But yeah, Ava does not seem to want to take any responsibility here. So Ava says, I'm pretty sure that Rachel is going to be pissed at me forever. And she says, frankly, I'm like, no offense, bitch, but after you physically effing touched me, I'm not putting your ass first. What? So from what I've gathered, it sounds like when Ava was asked to pick who was going to be first in the chain, I think she actually asked for volunteers first, which is incredibly insane that you would ask for volunteers at this point in the game. Why are you not picking your allies? But she was asking for volunteers, and Rachel was trying to pull her aside to chat. And I guess she, like, pulled on her arm or something. I don't know. I don't think it was like some abusive touch, like, I don't know, whatever. But Lauren says, I really don't think that Rachel's going to be mad at you. And Ava says, well, if she is, I'm going to be like, bitch, shut the F up. Maybe you should have solved the puzzle. I'd like to see Ava say that to Rachel's face. But Lauren says, Rachel would have put me up. So I'm happy about it. I'm happy that Rachel's not here anymore. And Ava says, well, Rachel wasn't going to put me up, but I do know that Ashley was her number one, not me. And the only time she seemed to care about me was when it came to a decision to help her. And Lauren says, oh, the only time that she spoke in with me was when I had any sort of power. I just have to ask, like, when did either of these two initiate game talk with her? Because I don't really remember it ever happening. It didn't. But yeah, Ava says no tea, no shade to Rachel, but I don't regret not picking her to go first at all. She says, I don't like the way that she treated me. It's a social game. Had she approached me differently, I might have picked her first. And she says, sorry, it's just that simple. Her actions sent her home. I don't know what Ava's, like, making up in her head. I've seen Rachel be nice to Ava so many times, like, just care about her on a personal level, make food for her, check in with her, talk game with her. But I guess when Rachel grabbed onto her arm like that was the last straw. I don't know. Um, or like when Rachel was trying to convince Ava to vote out Riley. Like, so I don't freaking know anymore. But anyway, they get back to talking about the veto for this week, and Lauren says, I don't want to have to be the one to use the veto this week. She wants someone else to use the veto so it will look like she was forced to have to make a replacement nominee. Like this was not her choice, but she's gonna have to put Keanu up on the block. I'm just I'm exhausted by these players who won't like take a stand and make a move. They just have to like rely on other people doing the dirty work for them and just be like, oh my God, I'm in this position. I have to do this thing. It's so exhausting and just like such passive gameplay. It's not fun to watch. But anyway, the rest of that night, Vince and Morgan were crabbing back and forth about how hard they've had it this season and how much they want to be there and how important it is to them. And eventually Ava joins them. She's talking more trash about Rachel, saying, oh, Rachel's a two-time loser. Girl, the 180 is absolutely insane. I'm wondering how much of this is just like guilt on Ava's part, and it's just like this misplaced guilt. She's trying to place the blame on Rachel for why Rachel was eliminated. It just doesn't make sense. But moving on, Saturday morning, the POV players were drawn. So, of course, we have Lauren, the HOH, the three nominees, Ashley, Morgan, and Will, and then the two extra players, Vince and Ava. Great. So, Lauren and Kelly had a game chat yesterday morning, and Kelly says she really wants Morgan to go this week. And this is not really a surprise because we know that Kelly is working with Keanu, at least for now. But she says if Morgan goes and I win HOH, I want to put up Keanu, Vince, and Ashley. What is Kelly's goal at this point? What is her goal? She wants to put up, I understand her wanting to put up Ashley because she's not working with her. She can't stand Ashley. But Keanu and Vince? I thought you were working with them. Who is she actually working with at this point? What is her goal? I guess she wants to go to the final three with Lauren, but like who else? Ava? She also mentioned that she felt like she couldn't beat Ava in the end, so she didn't want to go to the final three with her. I don't know what her plan is at this point because it doesn't make sense. But Lauren is talking about how they cannot let Keanu get to the final three because he will beat them in all of those final HOH comps, three-parter, and he will get to the final two, and then he's going to win. And Kelly agrees. She says Keanu has had this redemption story arc. He was a target early on. He was able to win competitions to keep himself safe. He's turned it around. So if he gets to the end, he is a huge threat to win the whole thing. But yeah, I just, what's the plan here? Yeah, because I'm not seeing it. But Kelly says she's really glad that Rachel's gone. What a surprise. She says the house is more peaceful now. You don't have to walk around on eggshells. Okay. So moving on, Lauren and Vince have a chat, and Lauren is just really relieved that during the POV player picks, she did not get house guest choice because she did not want to have to pick someone to play. Come on. Oh my God. She won't even pick someone to play. Like that is play the damn game. Oh my God. So she says that she thinks that Keanu might actually keep them safe for a while. So it's kind of sounding like maybe she's backing away from the backdoor Keanu plan. I think she's kind of in the mindset of, well, Morgan's already up there. So if she's still up there after the veto, maybe we just take her out. And then she has Vince all to herself and she doesn't have to create a target on herself with Keanu. But Vince is like, nah, Keanu would put you up if he wins HOH. He's been telling me that either you or Ashley need to go next. I mean, you've put him up on the block before, you win competitions, so he is definitely looking at you as a target. So Vince also says, I really don't want to sit next to Keanu or Kelly in the final two because they've both been huge targets since week one. And they would be threats to win at the end. Keanu, yes. Kelly, I don't see it for Kelly because while she has won competitions to stay, it was like blockbusters. And like if there wasn't the blockbuster, she would have been gone a long time ago. She did win that one extra veto, but like, but outside of that, socially, I don't see the social game because like obviously you can win this game without winning a lot of competitions, of course. But like the social game is just not there. Was she ever really a part of these plans to like get people out? She kind of just like floated her way through and then won the blockbuster competitions when she needed to. So I'm not really seeing an argument to win there. But anyway, yeah, people do not want to go to the end with her. So Vince also brings up he's feeling the pressure with this veto. He says Keanu is telling me to throw this competition because he wants Morgan out. But if I win the veto, I'm going to have to use it on Morgan. Morgan will be expecting me to save her. Oh, poor Vince is in another difficult situation of his own making. How does this keep happening? So he's freaking out about that. Ideally, Vince and Lauren agree they would like Ava to win the veto so that they don't have to get blood on their hands, right? She'll use the veto, and then poor Lauren will just have to put Keanu up on the block as their replacement nominee. It's just wild to me because Vince would rather risk Morgan staying on the block, losing the blockbuster competition to Keanu, and getting voted out than having to stick his neck out for an ally by using the veto on Morgan. He would rather risk her game than have to do that. That passive play, so exciting to watch. So Keanu and Kelly, they have game chat, and Keanu says, "We've got to get Morgan out this week because she is the biggest threat to our games at this point, right? She can win competitions. She's going to target us if she does. If she wins HOH, she's probably going to put the two of us up with Lauren." Yeah, I think she would. I think that's exactly who she would put up. But maybe not Kelly, maybe, but definitely Keanu and Lauren. So he says it's going to be really hard for us to get Morgan out of here because of these blockbuster competitions, right? If she's up on the block, there's a good chance that even if she doesn't win the veto, she will win the blockbuster, which is the same reason why Kelly and Keanu are still there. But Keanu says, we're going to have to get her out through one of these mastermind elimination games if we can't get her this week. Are they doing more of these elimination competitions? Because if they are, what are we even doing here? What is this? What is this? We want Big Brother with like nominations and vetoes and voting. Not this just like lose a competition, you're out bullshit. That's not Big Brother. It's ridiculous. But I've heard multiple house guests talk about more of those competitions happening. I don't know if they're just like thinking it's a possibility or if Big Brother actually told them that like it's going to be happening. I don't know. But man, that would really suck. So anyway, let's see where we're at. So then the feeds went down yesterday afternoon. My legs are falling asleep. I shouldn't be sitting like that. The feeds went down for the Big Brother comics, BB Comics Power of Veto, which is always such an exciting competition. But like, honestly, I just couldn't even like get into it this year. I was just not feeling it after the what we just were traumatized by. But the players, again, we had Lauren, Ashley, Morgan, Will, Ava, and Vince. And it turns out Morgan won the power of veto. It's funny because this is the one person that Lauren did not want to win. Even though she wanted the veto to be used so that Keanu could go up, she did not want Morgan coming down. She wanted Morgan to stay up there so that it was pretty much guaranteed that either Morgan or Keanu would be leaving, depending on who won the blockbuster. But now she might have Morgan and Keanu still here at the end of the week. So Morgan is pumped for her win. She's loving it. She's so excited. She's celebrating with Vince. And Vince is like, oh, we're guaranteed top 7 now, but we're going to have to survive the double. What's the double, though? Is it a regular double or is it a bullshit double? Because we don't want the bullshit double. So, whatever. But Morgan is on cloud 9. Flip over to Ashley. She's not feeling too great. She's not feeling great at all. She is realizing it's going to be probably her, Will, and Keanu in the blockbuster competition. And it sounds like Will got injured in the comp. I think it might have been his knee that got messed up. And Ashley is now feeling like it's all on her shoulders to win this blockbuster competition, which isn't necessarily true. It could absolutely be some sort of a mental competition. I mean, with most of these blockbuster competitions, you can't really count anybody out because they are designed for anybody to be able to win. But she's really feeling like it's going to be her versus Keanu in the competition. She doesn't really feel like Will is going to be a factor at all. And can I just point out again that Ashley, Will, and Keanu, none of these people got to compete for HOH this week. 2 of them are already on the block. The third one is most likely going up tomorrow. This is insane. It's insane. It's insane. They could have at least like had everybody do the maze thing, the elimination maze, and then like recorded people's times and then revealed who was going. Just so like everyone would have competed for HOH. I just feel like it's so unfair that like more than half the house did not get to compete. It's wild to me. But yeah, Ashley and Ava were chatting about how this season is turning into a competition show, right? It's barely social anymore. I mean, look at Kelly. Kelly just like does whatever all day, every day. And then she's put on the block. She wins the blockbuster. And then she does the same thing again. Does whatever all week. Put on the block. Win the blockbuster. Barely playing the game. And here she is in the jury portion of the game. Ashley says this is not what she signed up for. She hates this new school style of Big Brother. It is so much more focused on winning competitions than playing a social game. Yeah. And Ava says, and double evictions are now just going to be random. I somewhat agree. Because, like, obviously it's not a regular double eviction. But also, like, there was some strategy here that could have been employed with this chain. But it seems like Ava put zero thought into her decision about who she should pick outside of, like, raw emotion. She was mad at Rachel, so she decided she was going to pick Vince. Whatever. Again, why would you not pick Will or Ashley? It's insane to me. So, yeah, Ashley says, I can't believe that my Big Brother life is relying on a blockbuster and I'm basically competing alone here. It's rough. So Kelly and Keanu chat again. And Keanu is thinking there's a good chance, that Lauren will put Vince up on the block as a replacement. Boy, in what world? That's insane. Why would Lauren put Vince up on the block? Because he's done her dirty and like messed with her game a lot. Yeah, we know that, but Lauren does not care. Apparently, she is working with Vince to the bitter end. But Keanu says if Vince goes up on the block, he would have the votes to stay, but I would not. Morgan would definitely vote me out, and I guess he's not realizing that Lauren wants him to go. Ugh, he's not realizing you're not just going up as like a pawn. You are going up as the target. So the rest of last night, many of the house guests have been upset about this new mastermind twist. They're all saying like their hard work could go down the drain because of this twist. You know, they put in all this work socially the last 2 months, and now they're going to be eliminated potentially by losing a game. Where is the social aspect here? So there were a bunch of people complaining about this. We've already heard Ava complain about it, Ashley, Will, Vince. A lot of these house guests are not happy about the current situation. Morgan and Vince had a game chat last night, and Morgan was saying, if we want any chance of getting Rachel's jury vote in the end, we're going to have to stick with the judges, because Rachel is all about staying loyal to her alliances. And just because that alliance has taken a hit here doesn't mean she would want us to stop working together and to completely abandon it. So Morgan says, you probably pissed Rachel off by picking Lauren in the chain. Of course. Of course he did. But also, like, I feel like Morgan is projecting here a bit, because she is quite pissed that Vince picked Lauren over her. And not just because she's in an alliance with Vince, but because it's Morgan and Vince, right? But Morgan says, you're going to have to make it up to Rachel somehow, but also to Morgan. So she's telling Vince, if you win HOH, you're going to have to put up Ava, Lauren, and Kelly. You think Vince is going to put Lauren on the block? Girl, he just picked Lauren over you in the safety chain. And Vince, he's like, yeah, of course. But like, that's only if Keanu goes this week. Because if Keanu stays, I'd be putting him up on the block. And he's like, I don't think Keanu's going to go. So, yeah. But let's be real. Vince is not putting Lauren up on the block either way. Come on. So some other stuff from last night. Morgan was also trying to pump Ashley up for the blockbuster because she wants Keanu out of here. She wants Keanu to go. So she's telling Ashley, you just need to believe in yourself. Rachel would tell you that too. And Ava's also in this conversation, and she says, whatever happens is meant to happen. It's out of our hands. Stop with it. Stop with that. It's so annoying. But she also later said, I think the universe wanted Rachel to go, and that's why that happened. Whatever makes you feel better, Ava. Whatever gets you through the night. So today, Ava and Kelly were talking some crap. Rachel's gone now. So they have moved on to Rachel's closest ally, Ashley. She is now the target of all of the crap talk here. Well, I mean, they're still talking crap about Rachel, but Ashley's a huge part of it now too. So they're saying Ashley has had it so easy in this game so far. Rachel is the first person that she's lost that has been really close to her. I mean, I don't know about that. She did lose Mickey as well. Like she's lost some people. But they say she has spent all of her time talking game to one person, and now that person is gone. They really don't know Ashley's game, huh? Because Ashley has been working it. That's a social game right there. But it's also just extra funny coming from specifically Kelly and Ava, two of the house guests who have played probably the least amount of game this whole entire season. Them and like Riley. But yeah, they've like barely played the game. They've barely talked game with people. And they're saying that Ashley has been doing nothing and talking to no one other than Rachel. Okay, so also today, Morgan is pissed that Keanu is trying to get Vince up as the replacement nominee. And Keanu does not even want Vince to go. He legit just wants Vince to go up as a pawn. But still, it's crazy that he thinks that Lauren would do that. So Morgan says, Keanu wants you to go up because he knows he doesn't have the votes to stay. Yeah. And Morgan is also trying to drive home to Vince that Lauren is going to have to go. They cannot bring her to the end with them because Morgan knows if it's like her, Vince, and Lauren in the end, there's a good chance that Lauren and Vince are going to take each other and she's just going to be out in the cold. She does not want that. Also, as for this week, if it is Ashley versus Will for the vote, if Keanu wins the blockbuster, Morgan is saying it's actually better for us to keep Ashley around because Will is hurt from the veto competition. He can't win comps for us. And if he gets to the end, he's going to beat us because of his social game. So it is actually better for us to keep Ashley around. She is not going to beat us with the jury or in comps. I don't think they're on the same page about all this. I think Will would definitely be staying over Ashley. I think Vince would want to keep Will over Ashley. We know that Vince wants to keep Lauren around, even though Morgan is really pushing that she needs to go. Yeah, I think they're on completely different pages at this point. But the POV ceremony should be tomorrow. Of course, Morgan will be using this veto on herself because Vince isn't on the block. And it's looking like Keanu will be going up as the replacement nominee. It's going to be interesting to see how hard he pushes to stay off the block for the rest of the day. We'll see what happens, but things have really changed in the last few days, and a lot of these people are really hard to watch. Just not entertaining. And it's nothing against them personally, because I'm sure a lot of them are great in real life, but like inside this house, not interesting gamers, but also not pleasant personalities. So, all right. I want to thank you all so much for being here. I want to give a special thanks to our super chatters. We really appreciate you. Shane Wright, thank you so much for the super chat as always. And he says, I vote to evict production. I second that vote. It's very frustrating. It really is. I just feel like they will pick up their own game and throw it in the toilet. This one really hurts though. This is rough. But thank you again to Shane. What's up, Cupcake, my friend Christine? Thank you so much. She says, I hate it here. Sob. I know. Thanks for the updates. Thank you so much for watching. And again, like, this is Christine's first season of Big Brother. I'm so sorry that this is the season that is introducing you to this show, because it's a rough one. But thank you so much for joining us on this ride. And Brian Hitzone, thank you so much. Brian wants to know, does Lammy like her new wheel toy? So I haven't gotten any updates yet on that today, but as far as I know, she hasn't really gone on it yet. My mom's been trying to put catnip on it to get her on there and see if she'll start walking on it. But I think the next step will probably be her laser toy and putting her laser on there and seeing if Lammy will start chasing it. I think she'll really like the wheel if she gives it a try. It's just a matter of like getting her on there in the first place. But yeah, I'm not giving up hope yet, but I don't think she's been on there yet. And thank you again to Brian. Zachary Longamore, thank you so much for the super chat. And Zachary says, woke up Saturday night to Rachel being sent home. Then immediately after saw the Phillies. Wait, the Phillies Karen. What's that? And I'm like, WTF is happening to the world right now? Oh no, wait, I need to Google what Phillies Karen is. Was there a Karen at the Phillies game? Oh wow, there's a lot here for Phillies Karen. Phillies fan causes uproar after demanding home run ball from father and son. Oh no. Uh-oh. Why would she do that? Caught in more confrontations. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but Phillies fans are kind of crazy. No offense, but Phillies fans can be a little crazy. Anybody agree with that? I don't know. But yeah. Thank you so much again. Yeah, Christine says, I mean, Phillies. Nothing against you though, Zachary. And this is not just Phillies. It's kind of like also the Eagles, like anybody from Philadelphia sports teams. All right. Well, anyway, I want to thank you all so much for being here. I really, really appreciate you. And I will be back tomorrow to talk about the veto ceremony with you guys. Hopefully we'll have some sort of entertainment. I just don't have a great feeling about the rest of the season. I hope I'm proven wrong. But thanks, guys. So I'll see you soon. Have a great evening. And until next time, much love. Bye, everybody. Bye.